Hi guys, it's Rob here with another Python tutorial, and today we're going to be focusing on finishing up lists. I kind of want to breeze through this just because I've shown you guys now how to use methods on lists, so really if you have a question about these, you could really just play around with it in the interpreter. I don't really want to spend the time just showing you guys each little step here. I really just want to jump on to bigger and better topics so as not to bore anybody. We have remove, reverse, sort. You can take a look at that. Some typos here. Item shouldn't be in here. Item shouldn't be here. Item should be here. Just jumping down. And by the way, all these notes are property of NJIT. Type conversion, we'll get to that later. Yeah, well, basically just converting between types. I really want to skip that part right now. Python standard library. Okay, we've come to something interesting here. So sometimes we're going to want to use things. A good example of this, square root. If you're writing a computer program, let's say we're writing 100 lines of code, do we want to have to write the square root formula every time we want to take a square root? No. I'm assuming most of us don't. If we want to use a graphics program, which is the Turtle program in Python specifically, or one of the well-known libraries, I should say, do we want to have to write our own program that makes tools so that we could use them? No, we just want to use the tools that are available to us. But the thing is, because computers have a limited amount of space, because programs get bogged down by too much data, Python libraries exist so as to make your program as efficient as possible. Only certain libraries are present when you start up the program, but by explicitly importing these libraries, you could get a use of their functions. Now, that probably, for those of you that have programmed before, this makes so much sense. For those of you that haven't programmed before, I just blew your mind again. So let's take a look at this. Import, going back to the square root thing, import math. If I didn't have this statement here, I actually want to do this in the shell right here, just for simplicity's sake. Again, import math. Oops, okay. So import math. So that was actually just a little typo. Import math. Just to show you guys how it should look. Import math. Okay. So before I do that, actually, I want to restart the show. You know what? I'll show you it with this. So if we did math dot square root, which is SQRT, in parentheses, we're going to put 25. It's 5.0. Now, we got into some data types. We didn't really talk about floats or anything. In some of the programs, they're called doubles. Or at least in Python, they're called floats. But we'll put that aside for now. Basically, we just took the square root of 25 by typing in one line of code. We didn't have to use a complex formula. That was all built in. We imported the math module, the math library, right? And we just use this. Now, you only need one line of import here, so just take everything from here down. We pretty much used import math, math.square root 25, and we got an answer. So that's really quick, efficient way to use square root. Now, if we didn't, let's pretend that I want to go shell, restart shell, which just means that all this stuff up here no longer applies. So let's just type in list 1. Well, list 1's not defined because we just restarted the shell. So all this nonsense up here, all this code, doesn't mean anything anymore because we restarted our shell. Okay. So now, taking the square root of something. You know what? I want to do that again, and I want to see what the square root of 100 is. Of course, I know it, but I want our program to see what the square root of 100 is. So math.square root 100. We got an error. Let's see. Well, it's in this line. Okay. Name error. Name math is not defined. Gee, I wonder why that is. Well, we didn't import math. We import math, and we do that same line, math.square root 100. Voila, we got 10. The reason it's undefined is, as I said before, the people that made Python, they don't want your program to be bogged down by having all these excessive libraries, all these functions that do all these things that you don't need in your program. So when you're writing your program, a way to identify that you're going to be using this library is you write import and then the library name or the module name. There you go. Then you're ready to use whatever functions that are provided to you. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you a neat little trick regarding importing modules and a little bit different syntax for you guys. And that'll wrap up this tutorial. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys next time.